Good evening, YouTube. It's Joe from Mega News Reader. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2012, and I'll be reading you an article from Infowars.com. The article is titled Talking Heads, Mainstream Media Pushing Paul Romney Alliance Conspiracy. When the mainstream media devotes coverage to Ron Paul at any length, you can take it to the bank that it is an attempt to smear Paul's campaign. That is why the latest obsession with the theory that Paul and Romney have formed an alliance almost certainly represents such an effort. The notion that Paul has cut some form of deal, either for himself or for his son Rand, to be a part of the Romney-led GOP ticket is now being heavily pushed by everyone from MSNBC to Rush Limbaugh. And it's as if they are reading off the same script. As former Ron Paul staffer Lew Rockwell told the Alex Jones show yesterday, it is becoming ever more clear that talk of a Paul-Romney alliance is part of the establishment's latest effort to derail Paul's presidential campaign and paint him up as a sellout as he continues to pick up armies of delegates under the radar. MSNBC's Morning Joe has been heavily covering the alliance theory, with Joe Scarborough seemingly convinced Paul has done a deal with Romney. The thing that went unspoken but everybody knows, and that is that Mitt Romney and Ron Paul have formed an alliance. Scarborough said on Thursday's Morning Joe, "It is such an obvious alliance that Mitt Romney would do well to just come out and admit it. I don't know what he's promised Ron Paul. I don't know if Ron Paul is hoping that his son gets in the administration. But let's just be really honest here. For all people, for Ron Paul to form an alliance with, in the Republican Party, to pick out Mitt Romney is really bizarre." Scarborough added before his guest suggested that Ron Paul has been acting as Romney's attack dog for a long time. I mean, he's been throwing out daisy cutters, clearing the way for Mitt Romney all along, said Daily Beast columnist Mark McKinnon. And you know, it's a wink and a nod and never any kind of spoken deals on these sort of things. But it's pretty clear what's going on. And he's been the fullback, blocking in front of Romney this whole time. Scarborough picked up the alliance conspiracy again on today's Morning Joe, telling viewers, "It certainly seems like a deal's been struck, because he's not only chopping Santorum up into little pieces in these debates, he did it in past debates against Newt and other frontrunners, leaving Mitt completely out of it." Scarborough's guest, Tim Pawlenty, now national co-chair for Romney's campaign, denied that there was any deal. "I know Mitt, and I know Ron Paul. I really don't believe there's any deal between them. Think about Ron Paul cutting a deal as an insider to get some political favors," said Pawlenty. "Probably the last person to cut a backroom deal in American politics would be Ron Paul." MSNBC continued to push the conspiracy theory in later programming, with Andrea Mitchell probing Paul campaign senior advisor Doug Weed. Mitchell again floated the talking point that Paul has attacked all the other contenders, but has not attempted to go after Romney. Weed quickly shot down the notion by pointing out that Ron Paul has spent millions on advertising against Romney as an establishment flip-flopper. Indeed, a Ron Paul money bomb was specifically framed around combating Romney. Weed also flat denied that any deal has been struck between Paul and Romney. The Washington Post continues to push the alliance notion, as it has been since the end of January, suggesting that Paul and Romney's decision to skip a debate in Georgia was a joint one, while The Hill goes all out today with the vicious attack piece calling out Ron Paul as Mitt Romney's secret weapon, his attack poodle, and a phony libertarian. Talk radio host Mark Levin, who openly hates Ron Paul, quickly jumped on the bandwagon, again repeating the blatant lie that Paul has not gone after Mitt Romney during his campaign. Even Rush Limbaugh has been floating the same talking point, a surefire indicator that it is a scripted smear against Paul. Paul does not attack Romney. Ron Paul attacks every one of Romney's opponents. Romney doesn't attack Paul, said Limbaugh, while claiming that he had believed a deal was made between the two over a month ago. I'm Joe from Mega Newsreader. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.